Alright, this is old electronics fan, and this is a Sony RCD W50C. The problem that I've got with this is that it doesn't want to read any of the discs in here. It'll read them here just fine. And this was working, so for some reason it decided to stop working. Do I have... Watch this thing make a liar out of me, but let's just try it on one of these. Power on would help. Do that. I've always wanted to see the inside of this, but I never have, because it was working. And now all of a sudden it's gone from working to not knowing that it has discs inside. Let's see, now I almost think, well, it shouldn't matter because all of these use the same head and stuff. Alright, so it's actually playing. I knew you were going to do that. But it was doing other bad things as well. Oh, we want this. Of course, it's working. Let's see if it will let me go to the next track. There's only 2 on this particular CD. Of course. Let's try this. And just for the fun, we'll try a different disc. Stop. Eject. Come on. Come on. Alright. This one I will get hit with a copy strike on this if it plays for very long. But let's see how this works. And seems to be working. Well, that's interesting. So what I'm going to do, since just moving it from where it was to here got this to work, it's really got me to wondering what is wrong. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I want to see what was inside of this anyway. So let's see, we can unplug you, do this. So we're going to take a peek inside and see. Okay, so let's get these out of there so I don't bend stuff. Well, yeah, this is kind of what I expected. Well, kind of. I didn't know what I was going to see when I opened this up. Anyway, let's see here. And because the buttons were in a line on the top, the picture I had in my head was multiple cassettes. Of course, that was silly because we got this here. But so apparently what it does is, well, I don't know. I know I could probably, let's take a peek and see if this is going to be, this is all I need to do to get this off. Let's see. Alright, let's, the wire there. Okay. Let's see. I'm showing you much, am I? Let me adjust this a little bit. And we'll angle that a little bit more. Okay, sorry about that. I get too preoccupied in what I'm doing and I kind of forget. Okay, well that's interesting. Alright, so I can see, but you can't. Well, this is one of the trays that gets shuttled in and out. And I'm not exactly sure of how it manages. Okay, I think I see it. Alright, that way. Yeah, get you move out of there for a moment. Alright, so let's zoom in a little bit. I want to see if I can show you a little bit better. Yeah, it's not showing up in the camera very well. Alright, so you'll notice the back of this, how it's shaped. Well, that's what these are. There's 4 in here, and they all sit queued, ready to go. So I'm guessing what happens is that this tray moves up and, oh yeah, I can see the slots. This tray in here, if you can see it, moves up and down and then puts the correct disc in. And so, now, here's what's interesting, is we've got this. That looks very clean. Let's see. Dare I turn this on? Is it all apart? Okay, so that moves. It's not going to be very happy because there's nothing in here that will show it. Now, what I think, oh no, I don't want to do it. Go away. Alright. Alright, you see that little shiny part in there. What did I do with my pointer? There you are, hiding. For many of you this will be familiar. So you've got this rail right here, and that's what this slides on. And over here, it feels pretty well greased up. So how these are usually set up is you've got this one rail that there's a hole that goes through this mounting bracket that this rail goes through, and that keeps this position where it's supposed to be. Then on this side, up here, you've got, in this case, you've got a finger above and a finger below this metal plate, and there's some light grease on that, and it looks like it's there. I can't. I want to see if I can shove some of that grease back into the track. Probably not, but we're going to try it. I don't think that's my problem. And I've got some relatively lightweight grease, and I gotta go and look at some other stuff I've got, see if that would work in this. But what I'm going to try to do, because well, the first thing I looked at, first thing I wanted to see was whether or not this was clean. And I don't think it's dirty, and with that flap on top of there, it should stay good. I don't see anything wrong there. The fact that it was playing is kind of puzzling, but so what I'm going to do now, alright, so I'm going to put some lightweight oil on, oh, not that, don't do that. Alright, so what I want to do is just put a little bit of oil on this this rail right here, this part right there. And then we'll see. Given that it was playing, it makes it really, really hard to know what's going on. Let's turn this off, and I want to look at that. So little gear down inside, which kind of see it right here, and it's making a lot of racket when it runs. And I don't know if that means there's a problem. And of course I can't see anything really wrong. So I can't rotate this all the way around. Oh, I can, but well, I don't see any bad teeth on this little white part right here, or on this. Nothing seems loose and out of sorts. So, I'm digging out my screws again, and I think I want to reinsert the screws by hand. It's entirely too easy when you're using a power screwdriver to cross-thread things, and since we're dealing with plastic, in fact, this is old plastic, you have to be careful. Hold on. Alright, get in there. Alright. I have made mistakes before using, oh come on, this camera can't be drooping down, can it? Maybe it can. Or maybe I just forgot where I had it, probably. Alright, so when you're working with vintage plastic like this, always keep in the back of your mind, this is old, potentially fragile, easily strippable. And you do want to be very careful about how much you torque the screws, which is one of the reasons why I don't want to use power screwdriver when putting the screws back in, because bad things can happen very quickly. Well, let's see, is that looking good? I think so. And also be careful, pay attention to things like, are things lining up properly, like they're supposed to be? Well, let's keep going, I guess. I just saw something that I'm not sure about it. Alright, I guess that went in. Okay. I think we're alright. Not binding. Nope. Okay, now we put this on. Let's slide this back a little bit so we get more light on it. Alright. And when you're putting this in, there's a couple of little grooves here that these fingers go in on the back end. And then this part, these two posts drop into here. So let's get in there, and there that goes. Now I gotta confess, they've really done a nice job of making this accessible, because it could be a lot worse. Let's see. I really don't want to. I know I got a better screwdriver than that somewhere, don't I? Oh, there it is. This little screwdriver is old enough to vote, but I find it handy. And I haven't managed to wreck it yet, so it still is. If it's more than old enough to vote, I don't even think about how old this is. So, and I haven't managed to lose it or break it. I actually had a straight blade version of this too, and I have no idea where that one went. Okay. Alright, let's see what happens. Make sure I got this all right before I put it back together. That's pretty cool. Now let's close this. So let's do this. Yes. What do I have? What do I have for discs? I'm curious to see if. Oh, I'll throw this one in. This is a disc I don't care about. If bad things happen, which I highly doubt it will, it's no big deal. Well, it says it's still trying to read the table of contents. Huh. This is what it was doing before. I don't see this. I don't see the disc spinning. There's my problem right there. The motor isn't spinning. That's why. Well, you can't see that, but this disc is not spinning. And for some reason, Alright, so now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart again. Well, that's not going to be giving you much of a view. I knew there was something wrong with this because it's doing now what it was doing before. I'm not sure why it started working when I just simply moved it from where it was to the workbench. But now it is truly misbehaving again, which is kind of nice because now I at least have a chance of trying to see what's going on. And let's see here. The motor is spinning freely. Alright. It doesn't like it. Stop it. All that seems to be doing is making the belt squeal, which I really don't want to do. There's probably no service information on this. Yeah, I don't see. I'm curious. Let's see what happens if I just put this on here. Really? But it's not happy with me right now. And now it's running. How lovely. This is actually spinning, but you can't tell. I don't dare let go of this. Can I? No. Huh. Now it says it claims it's reading. Interesting. It's saying there's no disk. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eject 5. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I see. Aha. I think I made a mistake. Okay, I think I see, well, alright. Here's one of the mistakes I made. Let me get that camera up there. Let's see if we can go up so you can see more of what I'm doing. Oops. Alright. Maybe. Oh dear. Alright. If you look at this, this is tapered on top on both sides. When I put this together, and I believe what's supposed to happen is that this is supposed to slide, there's a ring right here. And this, I believe, is supposed to go under the ring, because it lifts this up. And so then when it lifts this out of the way and then allows the disc to take off, it also drops the other part. So what we're going to do is take this out. It defaults to number 1, so I think I'm going to just, yeah, I know that. Oh, okay. Alright, go away. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assemble this correctly. I don't know why I didn't notice how this was assembled, but I didn't. So let's put this under. So that probably explains why it wasn't doing anything at first. So yes, you can assemble it that way. As you noticed, I was able to assemble this part first, then drop it into place, and now that's holding up where it belongs. So let's now okay. There it goes. It's spinning and it's not reading. It shouldn't take that long to get the table of contents. And it believes there's no disk in there. why. Do I have a bad switch? And if so, which one? So, what's wrong with you? I don't see. Yeah, it says there's no disc in one. I know I've had these CDs playing before. In fact, if I put ooh, it read it that time. Okay, interesting. Well, let's see. Line out. And let's play. Play. Well, I'm not going to turn that up loud. That hopefully will keep me from getting nabbed. Maybe. So let's try changing tracks. Well, this is behaving better than it was before. I was using one of these. Oh, that's not a good thing to do. I was using one of these relaxation CDs, and there's only 2 tracks on these. What was happening was it would sometimes kind of work on track 1, then it would start skipping and misbehaving and then stop. Then I would go to track 2. Sometimes it would go to track 2, sometimes it wouldn't. And sometimes if it got to track 2 it wouldn't play and it would go back to track 1. It was definitely funky. And right now I can see, let me just show you. Let's go back this way. As you can see, if you look down there, you can see the audio playing. And if it were acting up, it would stop and it would misbehave. And I'm going through the tracks just to see. There's 12. Doesn't seem like 13. That's interesting. And you see there's no audio showing up here, or here, wherever you are, right there. So for some reason it doesn't like track 3. Is that going to be the same over here? Let's just find out. I'm curious if the CD is not happy or if it's the mechanism inside. I have a bad idea. I have a bad feeling. Oh, and that has 20 tracks. Wow. Yeah, let's see. Let's go past. Yeah, the disc is working. See it going up. I have a nasty feeling when I was playing with that one drive, that I might have gotten out of time. That wouldn't be good. Thought I'd gotten it back where it belonged, but alright, so the disc is fine. guess I get to take this apart again. Let's see, can I see what that motor's doing? No, I can't. I wonder. Alright, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. Well, it didn't take long to find the problem, which pretty much means that this unit is terminal. See that little gear right there, and see the crack in it? Remember I said it sounded awfully noisy? Yeah, it is. It's split all the way down the side of this plastic pulley. And that means that the teeth, instead of being close together, are gapping a little bit, so that the tips of the teeth are hitting the sides of this gear, and that's what makes it so noisy. And yeah, but when it gets to that spot, that cracked spot in the gear, it doesn't want to go. Yeah, that's my problem. So apparently what's happening is it's binding, and sometimes it will go all the way and sometimes it won't. I doubt this is going to be, let me just see what happens here. Okay, so that, I was worried about timing, but what you just saw was this unit timing itself. It ran the head forward till it hit the limit switch and then backed up a little bit. And that's what tells this, that's what tells the logic in this thing, that the head, which you can't see, that's what tells the logic in this thing, that the head, oh, there's a magnet in the end of that too. So, oh yeah, so there's a little metal disc, there's a little metal disc in here. There's a little magnet in here, so when when these two come together, the magnet pulls that against that, and that's what keeps the disc spinning. Oh, and you'll notice I didn't take this completely apart. You don't have to. I just learned that. Oh boy. Well, now I know what's wrong, and now I know why it went from playing to not playing, or sometimes not playing, and because that gear, that little gear right here, is the drive that moves the head back and forward. And nothing I can do. Trying to find a gear for this, chances of that are like slim and none. I will just for laughs and giggles look and see, but I highly doubt there's one available. And if I were to buy another one of these, I would risk having the same problem, because these are all pretty close, probably within a year or so of each other. I don't know how long they made these, although they actually do sometimes have a longer run than that, but I don't know, is there a date code on this thing? Let's just, I'm going to zoom you out for a minute. Let's see, there's a serial number. It's probably not going to tell me anything. August 2002. So this was, oops, yes, August 2002. So this thing is 20 years old. So even if I were to find one that was made in August of 24, well, this was 21 years old. Well, I think that's that for this. I'll put it back together. It plays when it feels like, but what's really possible, what could really be happening, what's possible that's happening is, turn you off. This gear is just pressed fit on the shaft of the motor, because the motor is right here. And That's the little motor hiding right behind there. And it relies on the tension of the plastic gear. And if it doesn't have it, what's possible is that that little shaft will spin inside the gear so that it will just sit there and spin its little heart out and then not go anywhere, not do anything. Which is obviously not ideal. Boy, well, I'm going to put it back together, and then we will, just for fun, see if it plays. I'm shocked that it played at all. I'm a little bit surprised that it got as far as track 13, or whatever it was, before it decided to stop playing. Let's see here. Let me get this. I'll put this in together. I'll put this together now. All right. There you go. Come on. I know you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just putting the connector, this little connector, on that, making that connection there. Make sure I get that in there. I really need to pay more attention when taking stuff apart. That was just a silly mistake. And clearly, if you have the fingers above this, yeah, that is not going to be good. And the reason they did this is because that little metal disc here is going to want to keep this part sucked down by the magnet. And so what they did was they have this little lift arm. When it's time to eject the disc, this lifts this magnetic disc off, and then the transport drops out of the way, so now that the black plate can then just pull the disc out. So, well, this isn't quite what I thought I would encounter. Not even close. I know about this problem. I've seen it before. It's not a shock to me that I encountered this. Just a bit disappointing. And the chances of somebody having made a 3D printed gear for one of these, probably not good. I've thought about getting a 3D printer and learning how to use it and making my own parts. But I don't know. I'm sure I could do that. A decent 3D printer, a decent 3D printer isn't going to be all that cheap. And I'm not. This is one area where I'm not super familiar. I know you're going to probably pay a couple hundred or more for a CD printer or a 3D printer. And I don't know. Okay, that's all right. I don't know if printers in that price range are any good or not. I haven't explored. I looked a little bit. You can spend an awful lot of money on 3D printers. Lots and lots. All right. Well, let's do this. All right, let's see. Are you going to play? Or are you just going to be mean to me? Very good chance that you're going to be mean to me. Ah, it worked. All right, let's go. Well, I guess the way you can get it to work is by going quickly. Yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's, I'm going to bring you back. No, I'm going to tilt you back down and swing this around. Alright, well, for whatever reason, it has decided it is going to play. Because I can go down, let's bring, oops, sorry. Alright, let's, before it wouldn't go beyond 13. But now, let's see, are we playing? No, it's not. It's trying. So that's our culprit. It's broke. Terminally so. Well, I got my wish. I wanted to know what it was like, how it was built inside. The ones that I've been familiar with, in fact the other one that I own, has a big platter that rotates. This is probably much more compact. I can't remember if there was that much of a difference. Oh, actually there is a difference. The reason they did this is because you've got two drives. On my other CD player, multi-track player, it's got only the one drive. And it makes sense because you can't have a big platter and have this without making your unit very wide. Okay, well, I'm just going to wrap up here. There's just nothing else I can do for this thing. There's absolutely not a thing. Alright, I'm wrapping up here. Thanks for watching.